Hello everyone. In this lecture, we'll see what is the meaning of order of a group. Okay, so guys, let us start with order of a group. Order of a group. So we can say that order of a group. Let's say one group is given to you. Let's say G. So this is represented with order of G, or we can say that mode of G. Both represents what we can say that order of a group. Order of a group means nothing. We can say that, let's say G is a group. The order of a group means number of elements. Number of elements in set G is known as what? Order of a group. Let us consider one example. Let's say G is given as 1, 2, 3, 4. So we can say that number of elements are how many? We can say that number of elements are 4. So we can say that order of this group is what? We can say that 4. Now you can see, yes, here order is 4. 4 is a finite number. So we can say that this group is known as what? Finite group. So we can say that this is what? Finite group. Isn't it? Next one, we can say that next one. What is finite and infinite group? Finite and infinite group. So let us take one example. Let's say we can say that any finite group, we can say that if the order of a group is finite, then that group is known as finite group. Otherwise, if the order of a group is not finite, then we can say that that group is known as what? Infinite group. So yes, we can write down this one like that. If in a group G, let's say the underlying set capital G, let's say, consists of finite number of elements, then the group is called as we can say that finite group. Otherwise called as infinite group. Otherwise called as infinite group. That means we can say that, yes, we can say that if the order of a group is infinite, that means number of elements are infinite, then that group will be known as what? Infinite. Isn't it? I hope this one is clear to everyone. So next one we'll see one by one. Some examples let us take. Let's say some, write down one note. Some operators will be used here. Let's say first one is addition modulo n. Addition modulo n, that is represented with plus subscript n. So what is the meaning of addition modulo n? Let's say two numbers are there, a and b. So a addition modulo n, b means what? A plus b then mod n. Isn't it? So let us take one example. Let's say, yes, a equals to, let's say, 5 and b equals to, let's say, again 5. So a plus b, we can say that mod n, we can say that is a addition modulo n, b will be what? 5 addition modulo n, 5 will be what? We can say that is equals to 5 plus 5 mod n. Isn't it? Now let's say n value is 4, then answer will be what? We can say that 10 mod 4. So remainder will be what? 2. So that will be the answer. Similarly, we can say that next one is, yes, multiplication modulo we can say that n, that is represented with Yes, multiplication modulo n subscript n. So similarly, let's say again, let's say a value is 5, b value is 4, and n value is, let's say, 3. So we can say that 5 multiplication modulo 3, yes, 4 is equals to what? 5 into 4 mod 3. So answer will be what? We can say that that is 2. Remainder will be 2. 5 into 4, 20, 20 mod 3 means we can say that 2 only. I hope this one is clear to everyone. Okay, so let us move to the next one, second one. Let's say, what is Cayley table? Cayley table. So we can say that a finite group can be represented with the Cayley table, or any algebraic structure we can say that that is finite can be represented with the Cayley table. So we can say that an algebraic structure, or we can say that any group, any finite group, isn't it? Algebraic structure also must be finite. Can be represented with, we can say that can be represented with, yes, Cayley table, isn't it? So let us see what is the Cayley table. Let's say, yes, let us consider one example. Let's say one finite group is given. Let's say containing n number of elements a1, a2, a3 up to an, isn't it? So let's say this is what? Finite set. So if it is finite set, then we can call it finite algebraic structure, isn't it? And let's say binary operation is what? Star. Binary operation is star, isn't it? Then this is the format of Cayley table. Here binary operation is written. Here all elements a1, a2, a3 up to, we can say that, an. Similarly, a1, a2, a3 up to, we can say that, an. So this one is what? Let's say first C11. Yes, C11 is what? A1 star A1. So what is C12? That is A1 star A2. So we can say that that is C13, then up to C1n. Similarly, this one in the second row C21, C22, then we can say that C23 up to C2n. And last one we can say that, what will be the last one? You only tell me. That is, we can say that that is what? an1, an2 up to, we can say that, ann. So that is the format of, we can say that, Cayley table. So here clearly we can see that what is a2 star a3. So a2 star a3 is what? C23, and so on, isn't it? So we can say that these are all elements C11, C12. Any element Cij represents what? We can say that the element after the binary operation. I hope this one is clear to everyone. So any finite algebraic structure can be represented with this Cayley table, isn't it? It will be helpful for you guys, isn't it? Okay. So let me proceed to next one, isn't it? Write down next one. Let us consider, yes, one Cayley table. Let's say consider one example. Let's say one algebraic structure is given. Let's say that is A, B, C, D, and here also A, B, C, D. And let's say these are the resultant elements. These are the resultant elements. The one Cayley table is given. So in this Cayley table, we can see, yes, that is the given Cayley table, and we know this Cayley table represents what? An algebraic structure. Then the question will be, yes, this Cayley table or above Cayley table represents a, yes, we can say that represents a, option 1 we can say that, yes, first option is semi group, second one is we can say that that is monoid, option third is given to you, that is group, and last option is given to you, that is abelian group. So we'll see one by one. First one we'll see whether this one is a semi group or not. So we'll see whether it is closed or not. So ultimately this algebraic structure is what? A set contains only 4 elements A, B, C, D, and binary operation is star. So here we can say that first one we'll see whether closure property is satisfied or not. Whether closure property is satisfied or not. So for closure we'll see, yes, we can take any two element from the given set and apply, or we can say that perform the binary operation, that is star, and see the resultant element belongs to the same set or not. Yes or no? Yes. We can see here all elements belong to same set ABCD only. That's why we can say that yes, that is closed, isn't it? And if it is closed, then we can say that closure property is satisfied, isn't it? Next one, we can say that whether this one is associative or not. Yes, you can check here. Associativity means we can say that for every ABC or XYZ, we can say that for every, let's say, XYZ, yes, what should be the condition? X star Y star Z must be equals to X star Y star Z, isn't it? That is given, so you can take each and every triplets of elements, that is ABC, BCD, ACD and all, isn't it? So we can take anyone, let's say we can take A star B star C is equals to A star B star C or not. Here we can say that what is A star B, that is B, and what is A star B star C. B star C is what? We can say that D. You can take, you can see in the table A star D. Now B star C is what? In the table you can see B star C is D, and A star D is what? Also D. Yes, so you can see LHS equals to RHS. So guys, you can see that is associative. Yes, we cannot conclude with these three elements only A, B, C, but this is standard example. You can find out each and every triplet. Similarly, take BCD. Similarly, take, we can say that ACD and all triplets, possible triplets. You will see associativity will be satisfied, isn't it? Okay. So we can say that here this one will be associative as well. You can take each and every triplets of elements and associativity will be satisfied. Next, third one we'll see what is identity element here. So here we can say that identity element is A only. Yes, you can see, yes, A star A is A only, A star B is B only, A star C is C only, A star D is D only. Yes or no? Means first row is as it is the column headers. Yes or no? Similarly, corresponding to, we can say that this particular A, yes, these row headers are as it is. That means B star A is B, C star A is what? C, D star A is what? D. So from here we can conclude identity element is what? A only. Yes, so we can say that if A star E is A, then E is known as what? Identity element. And remember, identity element for entire group is unique. Only one identity element will be there. Then only we can say that yes, identity property is satisfied, isn't it? So existence of identity element means it must be unique. Next one, fourth one, you only tell me whether inverse are existing or not. Yes. Inverse, what is the definition of inverse? A star B is equals to identity element. So here let's say what is B? B star is, we can say that yes, B star C is equals to identity element here. So here we can say that inverse of B is what? C. Similarly, from the table you can see, yes, from the table you can see what is the inverse of D. So in the dth row, we can say that identity element is here. So we can say that A D star B, D star B is what identity element. So we can say that inverse of D is B. Similarly, inverse of B is D and inverse of A is A. Why? Because A star A is A only. So always inverse of identity element will be the same identity element itself. Yes or no? So here we can say that inverse of every element is existing. I hope this one is clear to everyone. Just take, let's say we need to find out the inverse of B. So go in bth row and they see in the entire row where is, yes, identity element. Here A is the identity element. So corresponding column header will be the inverse. So we can say that inverse of D will be the D only. Because inverse means what? Yes, B star D will be identity element. Then we can say that inverse of B is D. So for each and every element we can see, yes, inverse is existing. That's why we can say that, yes, inverse property satisfied. Yes or no? Inverse property satisfied. Fifth one we'll see whether that is abelian group or not. So if we assume this table like a matrix, so you can see, let's say these are diagonal elements, and about diagonal, this matrix is symmetric or not? Yes, symmetric. Symmetric meaning of symmetric is what we can say that I comma jth element must be equal to j comma ith element. That means lower triangle must be, we can say that an mirror image, yes, in upper triangle. Yes or no? So if we assume diagonal as a mirror, then lower triangle will have the mirror image in upper triangle. Exactly you can see here I comma jth element is equals to j comma ith. That's why associative we can say that that will be commutative as well. Here you can see, let's say here we can say that B star A is equals to A star B. You can take any one. C star B is equals to, we can say that B star C and all. So we can say that if it is symmetric, symmetric means if we take the transpose, then the same matrix will be there, same table will be there. That's why we can say that commutativity will also be satisfied. So that is not only, yes, we can say that group, but abelian group also. Abelian group or not? So commutativity also satisfied. So we can say that all properties, yes, which requires for abelian group, we can say that these are satisfied. So correct answer will be what? Abelian group. I hope this one is clear to everyone. So remember, this one is standard example. You can see I written, yes, in the first row A, B, C, D. Then I started with B, B, C, D, then cyclic permutation A. Then we can say that C, D, then A, B, cyclic permutation. Then D, A, B, C, isn't it? Again cyclic permutation. So all four rows are what? We can say that permutations of A, B, C, D. Similarly, all columns are also permutations of A, B, C, D. Isn't it? I hope this one is clear to everyone. So yes, any table is given to you. So we can say that if every row has unique elements, that means there is no repetition in any row, as well as there is no repetition in any column, and we can say that inverse property will definitely satisfied. Why? Because the inverse property says that there must exist a unique inverse for every element. So if no element is repeating inside any row or inside any column, then guaranteed inverse property will be satisfied. Yes. Yes, we can take one example. Let's say, yes, let us consider. Let's say one Cayley table is given to you. Let's say this is the Cayley table, A, B, C, D, isn't it? Let's say this is A, B, C, D. So let us consider some elements are repeated. Let's say A, B, C, D. This is also A, B, C, D. Let's say that is, let's say C, then let's say A, D. Yes, here some elements are repeated. We can say that A, these are repeated. So we can say that if repetition is there inside any row or inside any column, then we cannot say that inverse property will satisfy. Yes or no? Why? Because we can say that, let's say B star A will be what? A only, as well as B star C will be what? A only. That is identity element. So we can say that here inverse of B is A as well as C. But inverse property says that inverse of any element must be unique. That means only one. Here two inverse are there, so we cannot assure that if repetition is there, then whether the inverse property will satisfy or not. But guaranteed, if there is no repetition in any row or in any column, then we can say that yes, inverse property will guaranteed satisfy, isn't it? Associativity you need to check, isn't it? Okay. So let us take one more example and we'll see, yes, whether the given Cayley table represents a group or monoid or yes, any algebraic structure. So let us assume next example, let's say one Cayley table is given to you, E, A, B, C, D. Then we can say that E, A, B, C, D. And let's say elements are given to you A, B, C, D. Then let's say A, C, D, B, E. The next one is B, D, E, A, C. Next one we can say that let's say C, E, A, D, B. Next one is D, B, C, E, A. Yes, that is given. So we can say that yes, we need to check whether the above Cayley table represents a first option semi group. Option B is what, that is monoid. Option C is, let's say, group. Option D is, let's say, abelian group, isn't it? That is given. So we can see here, yes, this is closed. Yes, we can say that all the outputs belongs to the same set. Yes or no? That is E, A, B, C, D. So that is closed. No need to worry at all. That is closed. Next one, we can say that in this row, column headers are as it is. And similarly for E, in this particular column, all row headers are as it is. So we can say that here identity element is what? We can say that that is E. Also, it is convention also to put the identity element at front, isn't it? But that is not necessary compulsory in every question, but that is the convention. So first element is put as, we can say that that is identity element. So no need to worry at all. You can see also. Yes, for any element, entire row is entire column headers, or in any column, all the yes row headers are as it is, isn't it? Then that particular element is known as identity element, because we can say that A star A E will be A only if so, isn't it? Okay. Now this is, we can say that inverse, yes, identity element inverse of E is E only, because E star E is what? E only. Next one, inverse of A is what? We can say that that is D. Why? Because A star D is identity element, so we can say that inverse of A is D. Next one, we can say that, let's say, yes, we can say that inverse of B what? Inverse of B is what? B, same element. Inverse of C is what? That is A, and inverse of D is what? We can say that inverse of D is C. Yes or no? I hope this one is clear to everyone. Inverse of D is what? That is C. Yes or no? D inverse C is what? Identity element. Isn't it? I hope this one is clear to everyone. And inverse of C, C star A is what? Identity element. So inverse of C will be what? A only. I hope this one is clear to everyone. Okay. So, but inverse property is also satisfied because inverse exists for each and every element. But thing is that whether this one is associative or not. So let us take, let's say, three elements A, B, C. Whether A star B star C is equals to A star B star C or not. So let us take examples one by one. A star B, we can say that A star B is what? D. D star C is what? D star C. That is E. isn't it? D star, we can say that C is E, identity element only, isn't it? Next one, what is, you only tell me, B star C. What is B star C? Yes, we can say that B star C is A, and A star A is what? That is C. And here D star E is what? That is D. So D, that is not equals to C. So we can say that here associativity does not satisfy. So if associativity is not satisfied, then we can say that that is not a semi group also. And if it is not semi group, then there is no chance of monoid group or abelian group. So add one more option, and that option is none of these. So we can say that correct answer is what? That is none of these. E option is the correct answer. I hope this one is clear to everyone, isn't it? Okay, guys. So that's all about. We can say that. Let's say what is the order of this particular algebraic structure? We can say that 5, because 5 elements are there. The previous example also, let's say that was the previous example. Here we can say that 4 elements are there. So we can say that order of this particular abelian group is what? We can say that that is 4. That is finite group. And we can say that for finite group, where yes, we can say that can be represented with the help of Cayley table, isn't it? I hope this one. So in the next lecture, we'll see some standard examples of groups and abelian groups, and we'll see the properties of groups and abelian groups also. So remember this thing: whenever finite group is given to you, then go for Cayley table. Just yes, make the Cayley table, and we'll see yes whether this is semi group, monoid group, or abelian group or not, isn't it? Oh, okay. I hope this one is clear to everyone. Okay, guys. Thank you so much.